and then we will begin.
We'll start the meeting. Let's first start with roll call.
Okay. Commissioner Lyde.
Here.
Commissioner Diaz.
This meeting is being recorded.
Here.
Here.
Okay. Commissioner Bray.
Here.
Commissioner Wagner.
Here.
Commissioner Kreiner. Vice Chair Hardy.
Here, thank you.
And Chair Vang.
Here, thank you. Let's go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone, please stand. Ready? Begin. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
I'll now go ahead and read the procedures for the meeting. This meeting is being conducted in person and electronically. The public may participate in tonight's meeting by using the Zoom link provided on the Planning Commission agenda. Please note that all virtual participants will be on mute until they are called upon by the chair, at which point they will be unmuted. If you're a member of the public and would like to comment on an item, use the raise hand function on Zoom. To avoid any confusion, please wait for the item you desire to comment on to be called by the chair before electronically raising your hand. For each matter considered by the Commission, there will first be a staff presentation, followed by a presentation from the project applicant. Testimony from supporters of the project will then be taken, followed by testimony from those in opposition. The applicant will have the right to a final rebuttal presentation prior to closing the public hearing. In accordance with Section 13 of Article 2 of the Planning Commission Rules and Regulations governing the length of public debate, all public testimony from those in support and in opposition of the project will be limited to 3 minutes per person. The 3 lights on the podium next to the microphone will indicate the amount of time remaining for the speaker. The green light will be turned on when the speaker begins. Yellow light will come on with the self-bell ring when 1 minute is remaining. The speaker should be completing the testimony by the time the red light comes on with the final bell indicating time has expired. All in-person public testimony must be presented to the Commission at the podium. Any testimony that references race, religion, ethnicity, economic status, national origin, or any other classification protected under state or federal law in a derogatory manner shall be deemed irrelevant and will not be considered by the Commission in making its land use determinations. If you challenge these land use matters in court, you may be limited to raising only those issues you or someone else raised in oral or written testimony or before the close of the hearing. We'll start today's meeting with the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Real quick, I believe we have a commissioner who is trying to appear via Zoom.
Okay.
And so we'll want to, she will need to state on the record the reason that she is not able to be here in person, and then the commission needs to vote to allow her to participate via Zoom.
All right, sounds good.
And then one more note, all votes must be roll call votes then as well.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Lede, if you can, please state the reason why you can't be in person.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was recently in an accident and I'm not yet fully healed. So it is difficult to go about all of my activities at the time.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and we'll take a vote us planning commissioners on whether or not we'll allow Commissioner Lede to participate in this meeting?
Yeah, and then just for clarification purposes, she's exercising emergency circumstances to participate via Zoom.
All right, thank you. Let's please take roll on that vote, please.
Okay. Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Commissioner Kreiner, or Vice Chair Hardy,
Yes.
and Chair Vang.
Yes, motion passes, allowing her to vote, allowing her to participate. We'll go ahead and go to staff. Any changes to the agenda?
Good evening, Chair, members of the Planning Commission. Israel Trejo with the Planning and Development Department. There are no changes to the agenda. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Do we have any reports by the commissioners? I see none. We don't have any continuing matters. We'll go ahead and go to new matters. This is for ID 231655, hearing to consider text amendment application number P2302808.
Okay. Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Rob Holt, Supervising Planner with Planning and Development. And tonight, staff brings forth consideration text amendment application number P23-02808 and the related environmental finding. What brings forth this text amendment tonight, before getting into the details, is that the Subdivision Map Act is a state law that governs all subdivisions within California, and that includes parcel and tentative tract maps. And as part of that, back in 2021, their code was updated for specifically section 66452.5 relative to hearing dates after an appeal has been filed for a map. That originally was the appeal hearing date was to be heard within 30 days. That was updated with the MAP Act to 45 days. Our current development code, our Fresno Municipal Code, section 15-3314, describes that process for appealing tentative and tract maps similar to, or almost mirroring that MAP Act subdivision, where appeals must be heard by review authority within 30 days. That's what it is currently, so we are changing it to 45 days to be consistent with the update from the Subdivision Map Act. Staff took this to all district committees, council district project review committees, as well as the Airport Land Use Commission, all of which recommended approval of the amendment. And the amendment as read here says that the hearing date shall be held within 45 days after the notice of filing the appeal, and also added or as amended per the MAP Act, so that if the MAP Act is amended in the future, we do not have to come back to this and update it every single time. And with that, staff considers this a recommendation for approval to the council. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, thank you, sir. Do we have any questions from the commission? I see none. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll go ahead and go to the public. Do we have any individuals who would like to speak in favor? Do we have any individuals on Zoom?
No hands online.
All right, let's go ahead and go to the public. Anyone who would like to speak in opposition? Do we have any individuals on Zoom?
Not at this time.
Okay. We'll go ahead and bring it back to the commission. Do we have any motion or questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve as laid out in the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Wagner, a second by Commissioner Diaz. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
We need to do a roll call vote.
Roll call, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
My apologies. Let's go ahead and take roll on the vote.
Commissioner Lede,
Aye.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hardy,
Yes.
and Chair Vang.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you. All right, we'll go on to the next one. This is ID 231657, consideration of tentative track map number 6392.
Good evening, Chair Vang, Commissioners.
Chris Lang with the Planning and Development Department. For your consideration this evening is tentative track map 6392, plan development permit P23-02692, and the related environmental assessment of a mitigated negative declaration. The subject property is located on approximately 7.71 acres of property, located on the south side of East Florence Avenue between South Walnut and South Fruit Avenues. As you can see, the project is surrounded with single-family residential to the east and south, multifamily to the north, and then to the west is vacant land. The subject property here is within the low-density residential planned land use. Again, you can see medium density to the north, south, and east, and then to the west you have low-density land use as well. The vesting tentative tract map proposes to, tentative tract map proposes to subdivide the 7.71 net acres of property into a 33-lot single-family residential subdivision, and will provide 100% affordable housing, which qualifies it for an affordable density or affordable housing density bonus. If a project provides low or very low income, it can qualify for up to a 35% density bonus, which for this property will allow 4.7 dwelling units per acre. The planned land use of the property is 1.35 dwelling units per acre, and the granting of an affordable housing density bonus, the subdivision will be developed at an overall density of 4.3 dwelling units per acre, which is well within the allowable density. The plan development application proposes to modify the standards of the RS3 single-family low-density zone district. These modifications include reduced minimum lot area, reduced lot width, and reduced front and side yard setbacks. These modifications are requested in order to facilitate the development of the property at the 4.3 dwelling units per acre. It is a long, elongated lot, so that would make developing it to the RS3 standards a bit more difficult based on the parcel layout. The project was reviewed by the Council District 3 Project Review Committee and received a recommendation of approval, and staff has not received any letters or any communications either in favor or opposition of the project. Staff's recommendation is to adopt the mitigated negative declaration, approve the plan development application, and approve the approve the tentative tract map, which again proposes to subdivide the property into a 33-lot single-family residential development. This concludes the presentation, and staff is available to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any questions from the commission? I see none. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and do we have the applicant here?
Good evening. Christina Stokes Johnson. I'm the Director of Real Estate Development at Fresno Housing Authority, and we're here with the engineer to answer any questions that you might have.
Do we have any questions?
I'm just curious what the price of the homes that'll be there.
So we're estimating there'll be about $350,000 each, but there will be soft second mortgages to make it affordable for the families.
Any other questions? Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll go ahead and go to the public. Do we have any individuals who would like to speak in support of the project? We have any individuals on Zoom who would like to speak in support?
No hands at this time.
All right, thank you. Let's go to the public. Any individuals who would like to speak in opposition? Please approach the podium, state your name, address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Brunette, and I'm with the Heat for Southwest Fresno Community. I'm in objection to this project. There was no community meetings. We didn't know anything about this until the last minute. Then they want to come up with 1,000 feet of letting people know at the last minute. we continue to come here with the same objection of things going on in Southwest Fresno, and we're not aware of it. This doesn't make any sense. You should go say $350,000, and anybody that's sitting on this panel or anywhere else know that Southwest Fresno is a blighted area. And we are the poorest area in the state of California. That's on record with the city of Fresno in your paperwork in the Southwest Fresno specific plan. And I don't understand how this even can come before this committee talking about $350,000. We barely making anything in that area. You have elderly people and you have kids in that area. And all of them is on a fixed income. They get $1,000 or less a month. And this is not helping our community, period. And we're tired of hearing this said that you're going to send it to the city council for them to make the decision. When we already know what the decision is going to be, you guys send it straight over to them. And we keep telling you we're not informed. They don't let us know anything. And this is ridiculous. It really doesn't make any sense. But it's a continuation of the same stuff that we have to deal with. You wouldn't want it in your area at $1 million.
All right, thank you, Ms. Do we have any individuals who would like to speak in opposition? Any individuals on Zoom who would like to speak in opposition with their hand raised?
No hands at this time.
All right, thank you. Can we have the applicant address the concerns of no community involvement? Maybe if you can expand on the soft second mortgage too.
Yes. So speaking to the public meetings, we've been presenting on this item at our board meetings. It was also presented before at the Planning Commission meeting for District 3 in open session, and so I believe it has been discussed, as well as the CEQA environmental report being published for public comment. As to the affordability of the homes, as I mentioned, the sales price would be $350,000. But the target demographic for this are people who make 50% to 80% of the area median income that can't support a $350,000 mortgage. So that's why there are soft seconds in place with city funds to help subsidize those houses so they're not paying a mortgage on the full $350,000.
Is there any, with any individuals who are interested or want additional information on this, is there like a website or pamphlets or anything
Mark, do we have the website up? We're currently developing the website for the site. We are waiting until after this meeting to make it public.
Perfect. And if there's any way you guys can give your personal information or your work information to any concerned citizens, maybe you can reach out to them and kind of explain the project that you guys are trying to implement too, please.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any questions at all or comments?
I do. Do you have documented how many community members attended your meetings? Your informational meetings?
I'd have to go back and get that information from the minutes.
Was it people from around the area, or was it people from outside of the area that were invited? I am aware that it should be 1,000 feet, like she said, but I'm wondering how many of those people that attended actually live in that area.
I would have to get that information.
Could I ask a question? So,
yes.
Was there a notice sent out to the community aside from the board meetings?
No, there's been no public noticing other than our meetings, our public meetings, and our environmental study.
I would have to ask staff then, is that not required?
So Chris can walk through the standard process for approving a tract map. So this is a tract map that you're approving tonight, and so we follow the standard process, whether it's a $1 million subdivision or Habitat for Humanity, follow the same process. Can you go through that?
Yes, and actually, just to clarify, basically prior to, well, first, we will submit a notice to the county clerk, or also the Fresno Bee for a notice of intent for the environmental document. And then prior to the Planning Commission hearing, we will notice properties within 1,000 feet. Almost 2 weeks prior, we'll send it out, a minimum 10 days prior to the meeting, notifying them of the Plan Commission hearing. And so those notices were sent out and published.
Additional questions?
On those notices, is there different languages that you send it in or just in English?
The notice is in English. However, there is a section at the bottom of the notice which identifies in Spanish. If someone needs a translation, they are able to contact a staff member for more information on the project.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions or comments?
Commissioner Lide has a question online.
Okay. Go ahead, Miss.
Thank you. Just so it doesn't get lost in translation for anyone out there wondering, can you please let us know what the average median income is and what the 50 to 80% of that would be? And also, can you explain what a soft second is and give an example for that as well?
Yes, I actually jotted these down just in case the question came up. So the median incomes at the 50% end for a 2-bedroom would start at $41,250 for a 4-person household. On the maximum size for a 4-bedroom, that would assume an 8-person household at 80% of the area median income. That would be someone making $87,120 a year.
And this is income combined with everyone living in the property or
Yes,
each
that's
individual?
household income.
Okay.
And speaking to a soft second, what that means is that it's forgivable after a certain term. It's written as like a second lien to the property behind the primary mortgage, but it can be forgiven as long as they retain ownership over a certain number of years.
How many years?
So,
I believe it's 30.
okay, and would that be an example like $350,000 home, $250,000 would be financed, and then the soft second would be $100,000 that wouldn't be repaid?
Yes, that would be the delta in that assumption, but it's going to vary depending on their AMI level, how much is subsidized.
Thank you.
Commissioner Wagner, do you have a question? Anyone? All right, thank you. Appreciate it. We'll bring it back to the commission. Do we have any additional comments, questions, or motion?
I'll make a motion. I think there needs to be a little bit more communication within the existing community. I'm certainly not against more housing in our city, much less more affordable housing in our city. But I think there's more communication that needs to be had. So I would like to continue this matter and provide them an opportunity to have more time to discuss this with the current residents.
Hi, if I may, can I just make a quick comment? I may ask for a 5-minute break. This item is set to go to the City Council next month, and time is of the essence that it does get approved. The project did meet the minimum requirements. As Chris mentioned, the environmental assessment was noticed in the Fresno Bee, was published with the Fresno County.
This meeting is being recorded.
The project is consistent with existing zoning, so there is no plan amendment or rezone, so there was no required neighborhood meeting for this project. And so we did do the required 1,000-foot notice, as Chris mentioned. We did not receive any letters in opposition or support of the project.
So you did do a 1,000-foot notice?
Yes, we did. We did do a 1,000-foot notice of this meeting here.
Okay.
If I can help maybe add to your motion, Commissioner, maybe we can get them to get together, proceed with this voting on it, and then have them get together tomorrow and maybe set up a time and talk about it. Would you be?
I'm amenable to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to go ahead and just make a revised motion then, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Are you, just to be clear, are you withdrawing your prior motion, or is it going to be a friendly amendment to the current motion?
a friendly amendment to the current
Okay.
motion.
Thank you.
So just to be clear on what we're voting to approve staff's recommendation with asking Housing Authority and the community get together? Okay.
Okay. All right, so we have a
I'll
motion.
second that.
Okay. So we have a motion by Commissioner Wagner to approve staff's recommendation contingent that the applicant has a meeting with the locals in that area. Okay. So we have a motion by Commissioner Wagner, second by Vice Chair Hardy. Let's please take roll.
Commissioner Lyday,
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Vice Chair Hardy,
Yes.
and Chair Vang.
Yes, motion passes. Do we have any reports by the secretary?
I do not have any report tonight.
All right, thank you. We'll go ahead. Do we have any unscheduled oral communications from the public? If you do, please approach the podium. State your name. You have 3 minutes. Any individuals on Zoom?
Not at this time.
All right, it's 6:29. Meeting is adjourned. Everyone have a wonderful night.